In the last episode of the Wolfsburg Career Mode, we signed a former player and World Cup winner, Julian Draxler. We saw varied degrees of success in the Bundesliga, but unfortunately did not manage to advance to the knockout stages of Champions League. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 21 Next Gen Wolfsburg Career Mode. This is episode number 4, where we'll be completing the second half of Season 2. Things are going pretty steady for us in the Bundesliga, not so much in some of the other competitions. We've already been knocked out of the Deutscher Pokal, and we finished 3rd in our Champions League group, which means that we'll be competing in Europa League for the rest of this season. There won't be a press conference today. I think I'm going to switch that up and have that occur at the start of every season, so we'll have another one in the next episode. So as always, if you have any press conference questions, feel free to put that in the comments section. But I want to start talking about our squad and the potential signings we want to make so that we can find some success in European competitions. We've managed to create a makeshift squad, trying out this 4-1-2-1-2 narrow tactic. Ja Victor has stepped up in numerous ways, but I'm not entirely sure he's going to be a player that stays in our starting 11 in the future. I think he'll be an impact super sub, but if we do want to see out this career mode successfully, we need to make some improvements at the striker position. Ideally, we also will be looking to make a realistic transfer, which means we don't necessarily need to sign a high-rated player, rather someone that has a decent rating and a good amount of potential. And of course, funds are not an issue as a result of our achievements so far. We have 118 million to work with in the transfer budget, and I was pretty keen on attempting to sign an RB Salzburg player. That seems to be a pretty common suggestion in the comments section. And looking through some of their highest potential players in FIFA 21, it seems like most of them have made the move to Premier League clubs. That left us with Patson Daka, someone that could fit right in at that striker position. 80 rated, has more potential than that, and he offers something different than Weghorst with a lot of pace. Unfortunately, though, they don't have enough squad depth at that position, so they were not looking to let Daka leave the club. So we had to settle on another very capable signing in Milot Rashica. The versatile Bremen attacker has remained loyal to the club despite them struggling in this save so far. I believe right now they are in the lower end of the Bundesliga table, and an influx of cash that was a result from a transfer of Rashica could help their chances. We agreed on a 40 million euro transfer, resulting in a contract that set him as an important first team player to a 3-year deal worth 50 grand a week. We've got a very interesting situation with Askasibar, a relatively new addition to this Wolfsburg squad. He has submitted a transfer request, and this is one of those unfortunate things in career mode where if they're not getting enough playtime, they'll submit a transfer request, and even if you start to feature them more often, it's stuck on this status. So essentially, we do need to let Askasibar leave the club, and then from there, we could either bring him back in right away, or we could make an improvement at that center mid position. Earlier on in the series, I mentioned the possibility of us signing Kevin De Bruyne at some point in this save. Whether it's the right time for us to do so, I'm not sure. I'm going to be looking over the comments section. If you want to see De Bruyne in Season 3, let me know. If you think we should wait a while, let him age a bit and have his overall rating decline, that's also a possibility. In terms of other transfers, we had 2 newly promoted Youth Academy players leaving out on loan. Quickly recapping those promotions, Bauer is a right mid / center attacking mid from Germany, has a good overall and potential. The only downside of him is that he has a poor weak foot, but we could improve that via development plans. Kim is a right mid / left mid from South Korea, 71 to 89 potential. And Reis is a striker from Brazil. He's been in our youth academy for a while, and I'm hoping we can potentially have a good striker from this country. It's been something we've been trying to do in this save. We'll continue our scouting in Germany for 6 months, looking for any type of player, along with a scout in Croatia for 6 months, looking for a playmaker. And finally, I thought we would send a scout to South America once again, looking for a physically strong player from Chile. The Bundesliga has a history of having quality players from Chile, particularly in the midfield, and I think this physically strong category will bring us back that type of player. I actually learned something new in that since the 11-12 season, the Bundesliga has allowed players to have a squad number between the numbers of 1 and 40. You can't actually exceed that. So we're going to have to update the Kettler's squad number. There may be a few situations in gameplay matches this season where he's still wearing the number 90, but moving forward, we're going to have him assigned the number 16. With our new transfer signing of Rashica, this is the potential lineup we're going to rock with the 4-1-2-1-2 formation. We do, of course, have the option of using the 4-2-3-1 wide, where Rashica would be more of a left winger for us. As we get into the gameplay, if y'all could do me a favor, leave a like on the video. It's a massive help to the channel. We are trying to push on for 30,000 subscribers before the end of 2020. So if you haven't yet subscribed, consider doing so. Help us achieve our objective, and let's get into these matches. We'll jump right into some Europa League action. A tough first fixture as we've got Lazio in the round of 32. They brought in Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City. Despite that, we did manage to hang on to a clean sheet in our home fixture, meaning that we had the advantage going into the away leg. This will be a good challenge for some of our new signings like Rashica. Despite just joining the squad, he'll have to emerge as a force up top and net some goals. It did not take long to see the impact Rashica would have on the squad, providing another attacking option for Weghorst in the final third. Here he's going to cut inside and take this on his non-preferred left foot, going narrowly wide of the far post, but still a good start regardless, as it's going to be Lazio now and Gabriel Jesus, the Brazilian striker, doing an interesting animation there. Haven't really seen that so much this year, but a crucial goal there for Lazio, tying the match up on aggregate as they continue pushing players forward. It's Lazari playing Milanovsky, and on the near post, it's going to be Lazio who take a 2-0 lead on the day. Not the start I was hoping for, but I can't say I was surprised. The slider settings that we've been using, especially as of late, have been extremely difficult. But you guys know I like a challenge. We'll stick with it for at least the rest of this season. Maybe we will make some adjustments for season 3. But we make some crucial substitutions and try to switch up our tactics, option to go with the 4-2-3-1 wide. I do like having 2 strikers up top, but I think it's even more useful to utilize our wingers. I'm almost certain that we've turned on team press at this point, because you can see there's not much of a midfielder for us right now. It's just going to be our defense and our attack, really no in between, as Gabriel Jesus gets his brace on the day. A nice volleyed effort to make it 3 for Lazio, but finally we get some things going in the final third of the match as Kasibar playing through Julian Draxler. He is going to take this one on the near post, turning the defender well. He struggled with these sort of chances in the past, and it's good to see him turn it around here. It's very important to remember that Lazio did not manage to score any away goals, so if we can tie this match up, we would technically advance through to the next stage of the competition. We do just that with De Ketelaere, another young player that has struggled in the past with his finishing, but I guess this is the episode where some players step up. We need to see this match out though. 83 minutes in, it's going to be a huge save from Castells to deny the Lazio chance. And even here, as we get into the 92nd minute, De Ketelaere managing to win back possession, trying to clear it away. And it looks like we can just see this match out, and Babu should just be able to run to the far corner and we can get the win. I decide to pass for whatever reason. The game locks on to a different player, and yeah, this happened. Even watching back, this clip is painful, but I think it is a relatable moment for a lot of you that play career mode or any game mode in FIFA. I do think it's important to highlight this sort of gameplay because we don't want this career mode to just be perfect moments where we reach the Champions League final. For me, the save is all about the journey, not necessarily about the destination. Yes, I would like European trophies, and of course I would have liked to advance past Lazio in this leg, but it's going to be a crucial moment for the save as we think about the future. Now that we've been officially knocked out of European competitions and the Deutscher Pokal, we can turn our full focus to the Bundesliga, as we got an important fixture here against Hertha Berlin. You can see how many teams are fighting for a top 4 spot. While we do have the 1-point advantage over both Hoffenheim, Berlin, and Mönchengladbach right now, a loss here against Berlin would be disastrous, and even a draw would probably see either Hoffenheim or Mönchengladbach overtake us. This match was played right after the Lazio one, and I think I was looking to take out some of my disappointment from the Europa League in this fixture. As we open up the scoring just 17 minutes in with Arnold, it's almost laughable some of the chances that worked out for us in this one. You guys will see from the highlights as Pongrasic wins back possession. He's going to go on an attacking minded run, no one really closing him down, eventually playing a ball through, and it's Weghorst holding off the defender, playing Draxler into space, and a finesse shot to the far post taken really well from Julian to give us a 2-0 lead 25 minutes into the match. Now 30 minutes in, it's going to be Draxler finding Arnold, the quick passes, now Weghorst. Look at this angle, guys. Like, this did not work for us against Lazio, and all of a sudden we were finding the back of the net. It's kind of the takeaway I've gotten from these slider settings, whereas most of the time it's a considerable challenge. Every now and then it feels like there are no slider settings enabled at all. This was a good moment of brilliance from Munir, nearly leading to a Hertha goal. But now we're into the second half as it's Schlager from the right wing. Don't usually see him too often at that position, but we decided to in this one as Draxler gets fouled inside the box. Doesn't even matter. He still finds the goal to give us a 4-0 lead. Of course, we're going to find the winning result in this one, but we want to push on and try to score as many goals as possible. Goal differential could very well factor in at the end of the season. And nearly a disastrous mistake from Hertha Berlin, trying to play the ball out of the back, and it just about leads to a Philipp goal, who made an impact as a substitute, but just couldn't find the finishing piece, trying to Play this cross into Weghorst, going to show that yes, there are still sliders enabled. Weghorst isn't able to finish every chance due to the higher shot error. But hey, I was feeling a little bit better after this victory, a 4-0 win to help boost our ego as we try to carry this momentum in the Bundesliga. Another top 6 fixture here against Hoffenheim, who have an interesting squad because EA don't have the rights to the Brazilian league. They've got a made-up player in Oswald Donato at the striker position. He's actually one of the leading goal scorers in the Bundesliga this year. But we'll take a closer look at the table for pretty much each of the final gameplay fixtures. As of right now, we've got a game in hand with 27 matches played, 53 points, and holding steady at the 3rd place position. The fact Hoffenheim have some standout players for both top scores and top assists definitely showed in this match, as a cross is eventually saved well by Castells, but it was a lot of opening chances here for Hoffenheim. Lauren, their striker, ends up doing some good hold-up play, his chance going just wide, and now here in the 38th minute, it's going to be another opportunity for Hoffenheim to score, eventually denied by Castells. Unfortunately, though, that could only last for so long. A header won, and a good initial tackle by Mbabu, but it falls right to one of their players, and Hoffenheim will open up the scoring in the 51st minute. I've been finding that scoring the first goal is so crucial, so this was disappointing to concede. Some good hold-up play and possession by our opponents in the 59th minute. It just seemed impossible to win back the ball and try to get any sort of momentum going. Even a good block there leads to a very weak penalty kick call. I don't think João Victor could have done absolutely anything about it. Oswald Donato ends up converting the goal, as it will give Hoffenheim a 2-0 lead in very unfortunate circumstances. We always push on, though, and try to at least get one goal back, maybe make this game interesting, as Rashika here is going to get fouled right outside the box. This one is not called for a penalty kick. Kind of sums up our luck in this one. Draxler will still load up the power bar, trying to get this one on the near post, but saved pretty routinely by Baumann. Hoffenheim are going to close out this match with a really nice strike from Onyeka right in the top corner, and I felt bad for Castells because he made some good saves initially, but Hoffenheim, the number of chances they had were too much to beat. As we approach the end of the season, it's going to make the Bundesliga a whole lot more interesting to see who qualifies in the top 4 and Champions League next season. We're going to stick with the theme of highlighting these top 6 opponents, as Gladbach is up next. They've got a quality striker in Mbolo, so when I considered signing in January instead of Rashika, but let's hope our new signing can make an impact on this one, as with just 3 matches remaining, we are still in 3rd place, but Gladbach trying to fight, push up from that 6th place position, and maybe consider a top 4 finish. I think the decision to option back to the 4-2-3-1 with specific instructions was the right move, because Rashika, we've got him set to get him behind and also cut inside, so at times he almost plays like a striker. Unfortunately, his effort was saved, and Gladbach answer right back with a goal. So we've got our work cut out for us if we do want to get a favorable result here. Unfortunately, it just was not meant to be. We collide with our opponents a couple of times, nearly win back possession, but they cut inside well, and Mbolo inside the box is not going to be missing from there. We're just a few minutes later, and surprisingly, Zakaria is still playing at Gladbach. Usually he makes the transfer away, typically to Bayern, but he sets up their 3rd goal with a really nice cross, and it was just a tap-in for Wolf. So it seems like we won't be able to get the win unless we can see a huge comeback in the second half. But it's a lot of frustration, as a chance for João Victor was blocked. We get another opportunity with Mbabu trying to find the cross inside. It's blocked as well. And that kind of summed up the match. Like, we were getting in the right sort of positions. Even here with Shika, it's going to be saved by Sommer. And now with Philip in the 80th minute, it's too late for us to get the result, but we will play through Schlager, and he finds the far post here. Even that chance almost didn't come to fruition because it took a deflection for Schlager to have the ball fall in front of him, but we'll have to turn to the last couple of match days if we want to secure a top 4 finish. And given the state of how the computer is playing right now, that is truly going to be an ultimate task. We've got Stuttgart on our final Bundesliga match day, and taking a look at the table, it's going to be a very interesting run of things, because right now we're sitting 3rd with 63 points. Hertha Berlin in 4th with 62. Hoffenheim is going to be the main opponent that we're concerned about. If we don't manage to get either a draw or a win, they could overtake us on points. However, they are playing against league-leading Dortmund on their final match day. Ideally, we make things easier on ourselves by either getting a draw or a win. That should put us top 4 due to goal differential. I don't think Stuttgart are going to be necessarily an easy opponent. They've got some high potential players like Wamanatuka, who surprisingly was featuring at the right mid position, not further forward, and also Gonzalez, another player that I considered signing at striker. As we've shown in the past, like against Barcelona in our final match of the Champions League group, we are capable of rising to the occasion and will open up the scoring with a huge goal from Rashica, proving to be worth the signing that we made in January. Because if we can get the lead like we have here, I think our chances of winning the match or getting a good result is higher. However, this one may prove to be a goal fest, as it's going to be Wamanatuka from the right side finding a good ball, and eventually it's going to be finished by Solomon to give Stuttgart the equalizer. Some really patient play from the computer. We tried to get that slide tackle in to block the pass, but it was not meant to be. Now it's going to be Draxler in the 36th minute, finding Weghorst, knocking the ball down, and in typical Weghorst fashion, will volley that one into the back of the net. This is exactly what we needed. Big players for us like Weghorst, who has proven to be one of our top goal scorers, and record signings like Rashica coming up and scoring goals for us. Now it's going to be Gonzalez, initially saved well by Castells, but the ball just seemed to bounce right back to the Stuttgart players as they will make things 2-2. We'll take a look at this instant replay and how interesting it was, because Castells nearly got the double save, but the ball going right between his gloves and into the goal. Let's hope things settle down a little bit in the second half. We've got a chance in the 53rd minute. It's Brekalo to play through Rashica, getting his brace in a very similar fashion. I think right mid might be his best position because it allows him to shoot to the far post, and that is really an effective thing to do in FIFA 21. Now it's going to be Rashica. Seeing the crossing options, he had two players to choose from. Weghorst ends up being able to make contact with the ball, and although it's going to be a glitched animation for the celebration, we still get the fourth goal. And I think at this point, I felt like we were probably safe to finish top 4. There is still a lot of time left, and ideally we walk out with the full 3 points because I want to give the home fans something to cheer about. We've had a somewhat disappointing season in terms of our Champions League and Europa League performance. Stuttgart do manage to get another goal back, courtesy of Solomon. And now in the 78th minute, basically straight after kickoff, we look to make the gap 2 goals again, as it's João Victor who gets his effort saved and the Stuttgart defense manages to clear. Here, as we reach the final moments of the match, you guys might be able to predict what will happen. The computer dribbling around us, and it's going to be an equalizer for Stuttgart as they get the signature celebration. This brings me to my next point, whether you all want to see a change to the slider settings. On one hand, we are getting some very interesting results and competitive matches. On the other, I do feel like we should be winning a bit more. If you want to see any changes to the sliders, let me know in the comments section. I'll be reading over the comments. But let's get into the end of season recap, see where we finished in the Bundesliga. It's been another amazing season in terms of drama and the reemergence of some clubs like Borussia Dortmund winning the Bundesliga title over Bayern this year with 81 points. We've also achieved a top 4 finish, which will put us in Champions League next year, and I'm hoping things fare better for us in season 3. But looking at the bottom of the table, it was Union Berlin, Hamburg, and Dusseldorf who finished bottom 3. Union Berlin did survive the drop, winning the promotion playoff final 3-1 on aggregate, but we will see the return of Nuremberg and Freiburg to the Bundesliga. We definitely didn't score as many goals in season 2, but it was the same top score for us as Weghorst led the way with 15 goals from 43 matches. Arnold in second with 10 goals from 39, and Draxler, our new signing for season 2, with 9 goals from 34. The same top 3, just in a different order, as Arnold had the most assists with 8 from 39, Weghorst in second with 7 from 43, Draxler in third with 6 from 34. And it's going to be all Youth Academy players to feature in the top growth category. Both De Silva and Bauer went up by +8 in their overall. Gross achieved a +6. Just the one appearance for us in the Bundesliga top 15 goal scorers. We had Weghorst in 7th with 14 goals from 34 matches. We did, however, have a few more players in the top 15 for assists, both Arnold and Weghorst finishing with 7 assists with 6th and 7th place respectively. Also, Mbabu, our fullback, finishing in 11th with 6 assists from 33. Castells narrowly missed out as having the most clean sheets in the league. Neuer led the way, but I think pretty soon, if not already, Castells will be the highest rated goalkeeper in the Bundesliga. Recapping some of the other competitions, it was an early exit for us in the Pokal, leaving in the second round to Werder Bremen. Dortmund won that competition over Bayern in the final. PSG finished as the Champions League winners, and Real Sociedad won the Europa League. We've got 2 separate Youth Academy player promotions at the end of the season because they were unsettled, starting with Jan Martin, a center attacking mid / center forward from Germany. Has a decent potential at 86 to 92. I plan on sending him out on loan at the start of season 3. And a good change here to feature a goalkeeper. We've got Bjorn Keller, a 16-year-old from Germany, 86 to 92 potential, a suitable overall, and typically goalkeepers tend to have incredible growth on loan. Speaking of players out on loan, we're going to keep a close eye on all the players that had a loan spell for this second season and deciding, depending on their rating, whether they will be featuring in this Wolfsburg squad for season 3 or whether we'll send them out on loan for another season. Realistically, if we want to see the most growth, I think sending them out on loan is probably the best strategy. But if you guys really want to see a certain player featured, definitely let me know in the comments section and we can keep them at the club. But I do want to give a special shout out to 2 players in particular, João Victor and Weghorst. Despite being relatively old for Career Mode in their upper 20s, they both achieved a +3 in their overall. Let's hope that can continue. As we look towards the future, we still have a stacked youth academy, and we'll decide whether we want to promote some of these players next season. Also, feel free to leave some country suggestions in the comments section because we've got a few seasons left of this save. Our manager rating is not in great shape. I think a big reason for that is due to the Kasibar transfer request. I tried to see if that status would be removed, and our manager rating just gradually dropped week by week. But covering some of the board objectives, youth development, we have successfully completed the short-term one, and I think we could fulfill the long-term one next season. Brand exposure, we did manage 12 clean sheets from home matches this season, so practically 2 out of our 3 home matches resulted in a clean sheet. Pretty cool statistic there. We fell just short of fulfilling our financial objective. Domestically, we did not maintain our cup objective, but we did finish in a Champions League spot for the Bundesliga. Kind of an epic failure for continental success. We didn't manage to finish top 2 in our Champions League group and advance to the knockouts, and then we went on to lose in the earliest possible match for the Europa League. I want to give a shout out to channel members. If you're looking to learn more about that, there's a link in the description talking all about it. It's a great way to help support the channel and also unlocks a couple of perks, including being able to use emotes in comment section, as well as chat for live streams. But this is the squad we've got rolling into season 3. I like the changes I've made, being able to feature both of our new additions with Draxler and Rashika, along with some of our staple Wolfsburg players that we began this career mode with. Again, some big decisions for us to make for season 3, and I'd appreciate your input in the comments section below. But if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.